What is your name?
Kimodo Teresia Wanjiro Makazi from Kiriboya.
Yes, proceed.
Yes, thank you. I just wished to support that application by just submitting that public perception is everything and it cannot be ignored. I wish to rely on Article 47(1) and Article 50, and more specifically in Article 47(1) is where it says that every person has the right to administrative action that is expeditious, efficient, lawful, reasonable, and procedurally fair. And more specifically on the part that is procedurally fair. Yeah, if you look at the way the court has conducted itself, of course we are in no doubt that the court is competent enough to handle these petitions, but then again, on the issue of the procedure, we had raised an issue of service, and the court ruled that we should check all documents in the portal. Unfortunately, today, we could not access the e-filing portal. So what one is meant to wonder is why we were told to access documents online, and when we go to the portal today morning, it's not working. Therefore, there is this perception that perhaps there could be something going on, because at all material times, judges shall be impartial. And the issues being raised currently are that there is an issue. Sorry? Okay. So there are issues that are being raised that are raising issues to conflict of interest, whereby we have been directed by the applicants to note that one of the judge has a spouse who has been nominated or appointed by the President of Kenya, His Excellency William Ruto. And I think that is not a question where we should be giving out affidavits. I think that is a question where the judge, the honorable judge, should just come out and tell us if this is true. Then are we going to feel conflicted, so that we can, as petitioner, say, okay, proceed, or no, let's have a neutral bench. The other issue is the issue of another judge, Honorable Justice Mrima, being seen. No, not the judge, I'm not saying the judge, I'm saying the spouse of the judge being nominated or appointed. That's the issue that has been raised by the applicants. And so we feel, of course, if this appointment was done, will he be able to Mrima attending a wedding ceremony, Kingi? So the issue is, and they are long-time friends, will he be able to disappoint a friend? You know, these are the issues that the public is asking, and it's the perception anyway. So in issues such as this, we say these issues are very important and they cannot be ignored. And there's no point of, if people are saying we don't want the bench, it's not so hard for the bench to say, okay, just let's go back to the Chief Justice, please appoint another bench. There's nothing wrong with that. We know the judges are competent enough, but then if the issue of conflict of interest is arising, then the best thing to do before we go to the substantive issues is to pen everything down and say that go back to the drawing board and appoint a new bench. That's all.
Thank you, Mr. Roshi. My name is Daniel Marshall. I do appear for the third interested party, One Party Democratic Movement Party, together with Mr. Kala. My Lord, I want to say only one short thing and then allow Mr. Kala to conclude without repeating what has been said this afternoon. My Lord, in 2008, I was involved in a matter which was the Vice President of the country. I appeared before Justice Paul Kihara, and he immediately told me the second respondent is my personal friend, was my classmate in law school. I recused myself. I was sent to Justice Wendy. I appeared before her, and my Lord, she said, the first applicant, a renowned professor, is my personal friend, and I recused myself. My Lord, I ended up with an out-of-court settlement. I do ask Mr. Kala to conclude.
My lords, my lady, I'll just make one submission. But in light of the disclosure about the relationship between Justice Mrima and the Speaker of the Senate, we find ourselves in a very unfortunate situation where the bench looks like it's on trial. Motions of recusal are normally very difficult to prosecute, because the question is, and this is a question that respectfully I want to pose to the bench. Will you feel comfortable? Do you appreciate the fact that so far the events that have taken place, whatever determination that you will arrive in this particular matter, and they are weighty constitutional national matters that affect the entire country, are you satisfied that they will be received well by the public? That's a question that should be in the mind of the judges as they decide whether to recuse themselves or not. Secondly, it is very clear that the only mistake here was that Justice Mrima did not disclose a relationship between himself and Amason King, which is out of a friendship and which is not even illegal. But disclosure, the mere fact that there was no disclosure by itself creates suspicion, apprehension in the minds of the applicant. The last question is, if Justice Mrima decides to recuse himself, is it the entire bench that will recuse itself, or only one judge will recuse himself? Because I'm convinced that inevitably Justice Mrima must recuse himself. Thank you so much.